Evening all, so here we go again once more. This is more running, gunning, shooting, killing, dying, losing footage for you. And again, really just to stress, the reason we do these videos is because we love this game, we want to get more people playing it, we want it to be a massive success, so this is why we do them. And I generally don't edit them too heavily. I know some of you are pretty mad at that, but apologies. You know, these videos are not going to be kind of 2 minutes long, just showing you one or two things. I kind of do them because I think it's really keen. I'm really keen that we kind of publicize this game maybe a bit more. So if you're a budding internet video jockey like myself, please have a go, make some videos. It would be great to see other people's content. There aren't too many people doing Dust videos at the moment, so don't let me have the monopoly. Please come on, let's do some videos. I'd love to see your crazy footage and craziness that goes on. Also, if you're maybe a corporation or similar that does crazy stuff but you don't have anybody who does videos, give me a shout. I'll come along, I'll record you and I'll make you internet famous. You know what I mean? I think it would be lovely to really showcase what this fantastic game is, can do, and will be, and so on. So there we go. So that's really, again, I just wanted to really refresh that, because I think particularly with any game, I remember when DayZ was certainly getting started, it was basically only the videos that I think made it a particular success. So I think I really would love to see more stuff people want to do, and I think videos are a great way to do it. I mean, YouTube is phenomenally powerful. I think it's a great medium to advertise a game and a product. So I think if you really do like Dust, just consider maybe doing a few videos of it, do some fan art of it. I mean, anything really. I'm not telling you what to do. It's just I'd love to see a bit more community content than this. The community of this game is an interesting one. I think a few of them are very elitist, I'd say. I mean, and again, not to name names or anything, but I think there's a few people who really are just hating the fact that this is now an open beta and new players are coming in, and it's a bit odd, really. I don't quite understand the commercial thought around that, but that's true of any game. I think people get really kind of emo about certain stuff, and what can you do? Is all game in it. I think it's important to bear in mind, things like Dust and Eve and so on. They have their successes by the strength of their community. So if no one plays the game, then the game will not exist. So I think a lot of the time people generally kind of shitpost about CCP and all the sort of various things that they do, but you should be kind of maybe getting behind them a little bit, because they are actually they're producing something that we're all pretty much enjoying and loving. So hope you agree. If you don't, call me a dick in the comments, and and I'll chuckle along with you, because I don't know, I just think sometimes with Eve as well. I mean, I played Eve for 10 years, and I've seen a lot of hate of the developers, and rightfully so in some cases, where they were being frankly corrupt, but that was one or two people, I think, that was swiftly dealt with. I think the reality of it is that this is a great game, and I think it'll only be successful if the community really steps up and really gets behind it as well. So and I think one of the things that people seem to be really kind of talking about is the current skill cap. And somebody asked me in the comments about what's the kind of my thoughts on it, and I mean, to be honest, I don't have any thoughts on anything really. I mean, I'm a pretty simple guy. I mean, the way I see it is the game is for what it is. I think if they want to have a skill cap, well, there's not a lot we can do about it, but I think it's probably worth maybe considering why there is a skill cap, because you do need a skill cap when it comes to an open beta, because otherwise you're just going to have players who are so formidable that you're not going to actually get any enjoyment fighting them. So that dude over there, let's say he had level 5 everything, it would mean that he had 25% more armor, shield, 20% more agility, 25% blah 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 blah, and so on. And it just and his damage would be, say, 12.5%, 25%, whatever it may be, more than everyone else. You just have to kind of factor that in. It's the joke, isn't it? There's two types of gamer: the guy who both of them play at the weekend, and then one of them will go to work, the other one will sit and play this, and they'll become masters of this game. And that's just, I guess, it's part of the way it is. But I think with the skill cap, what I would say is you do need it just for the time being. And I don't think it should be a daily cap. It probably should be a weekly cap, because I think you know, you can moderate your play, you know, as you need then to feel fit. But what I would stress is it doesn't matter if you're not getting skill points. Don't see it as you're actually being reduced in effectiveness or anything, because you're still getting ISK, and and this is the crazy one, you're actually still having fun, I would assume. So, you know, I wouldn't see it too much as just a problem. I'd see it maybe as, you know, you're having a bonus by playing the game and getting more skill points. But I think the reality of it maybe should be that, you know, you, in some cases you get skill, in some cases you don't, but you always get ISK, you always get, you know, fun vouchers, as you call them, to buy stuff and put, you know, play about with. So, you know, I don't think you're being too unfairly disadvantaged once you hit that skill cap. But I would say a weekly cap would make maybe a bit more sense. But who am I? I'm a noob. I just play the game, you know, and I don't know. I think I'm kind of willing to have a debate on it, but I think there are more veteran players than me who probably have a different insight. But I would just stress, surely they would see the reason for the skill cap as a community thing. It's there for everybody's benefit, because again, I would stress, if there was no skill cap, you would have people who play this game for, say, you know, 12 hours a day would be just absolutely dominating the others. And even if you're one of those people who thinks, well, I do play for that much and, you know, I'd love to do it because I could then dominate everyone, well, no, because you'd come across other players who do it even more than you. It's like when you're on the motorway, there's always someone faster than you on the motorway, no matter how fast you're going. This is very similar to this, where there will always be someone who plays it more than you and who has, I don't know, they've learnt more than you, or they've been sneakier than you. So don't be too much in a rush to say unlimited skill points and all that, because I think after all it would just, I guess, differentiate players more than it needs to at the moment. The game should be there for everyone. We should try and all be kind of able to have fun and kills and stuff, but the moment it becomes an elitist game, you can just kiss it goodbye, because it will become, you know, a niche game for, say, you know, a couple of thousand people who eventually Sony and CCP would just do the simple business calculation and say, this is unviable as a business, pull the plug. And that's it. That's what will happen. That's what happened to PlanetSide 1. It's what happened to, you know, a lot of games where the reality is without that influx of new players who are actually trying to, you know, have fun, well, that sucks. You just generally will find that, you know, through your kind of want to be elite, you'll actually destroy your game. But I don't know. This may not happen. But I just feel that, you know, you need to kind of see why the skill cap's there. So there we go. That's my illustrious thoughts on this. I think maybe when the full game comes out, maybe, and here's a thought, maybe you shouldn't get any skill point boosts from any of the matches you play, because when you PvP in EVE, you don't get any skill boosts there, so why do you get it in this? And I know it's quite a bold strategy to do that, but it makes probably a bit more sense to do that, because you're then just basically saying, you know, everybody, I mean, I like that about EVE. I know it sounds silly that you kind of get rewarded not to play. Hey, Bunny Hopper, how you doing? Didn't do you too good there, did it, friend? I hate bunny hoppers. Anyway, I think, yeah, maybe that's another concept, is that you actually just accrue skill points, you know, gradually, and maybe there's an ability to boost that through a percentage uplift each day, but I wouldn't make it a cool, cold, hard, right, you did well, you get 10,000 skill points every match, because I guess that is a game breaker when you think about it. But I think it's because now they've done it, it's a thing, so therefore if you take it away, people will scream and moan. So I think it's going to be a difficult one to recover from. If they had done from the original start, where you do not get skill point boosts at all per match, but you actually just can have implants and stuff like that increases the amount of skill points you get, then I think that maybe would have been a better solution. But I guess they were desperately keen to get people using the beta and using all the different equipment quickly, so that's why maybe they included it. Sucks, I know, and they may not be able to retreat from that position ever again, or at least without massive rage, but I suspect that's probably what's going to happen. But I don't know, we'll see. I think, you know, you have to give a bit of faith to CCP. I know people love to hate the developers, you know, with all the, you know, come on Blizz and all that. I think you just have to accept that CCP, you know, they're doing a good job. Everybody loves the game so far, and if you don't, what you're watching this for? And I think, you know, you should just, you know, let's see what they come up with. They'll make mistakes, of course they will. You know, we're all human at the end of the day, so let's just see what they come back with. And I think a lot of the a lot of the fun of this game is actually going to be, I think, the interaction, and I'm putting my hat firmly in the ring for that, because the interaction between this and Eve has to be actually the depth of this. This is actually a very shallow game when you look at it. It's no different to any FPS where you're basically just running around, running, gunning, shooting, killing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think the scale and scope of this game is what a lot of people are here for. And that's not yet really been shown, but it's coming soon and all that good stuff. So give it time, and I think we're going to have a pretty phenomenal game to basically enjoy. So, I think particularly when you look at the interaction from, the Eve, placing contracts, even the ability to move your mercenaries around, and then ultimately in the future, mercenaries being loaded into ships and fighting on POS, fighting on Titans, all that good stuff. That's what people are playing for. They're not playing for a skill boost every match that they can then just go and get another vehicle and own people with. It should have, each battle should have meaning, and at the moment these battles have no meaning whatsoever, and that's, I guess that's by design. But eventually each of these battles that you actually go into should have a greater meaning. So for example, if technetium moons are able to be invaded, you could invade the POS and take over the mining of that moon. Technetium, for those that don't know, is an Eve resource that's pretty high value. It's very high value. And the ability to maybe, bypass and dominate and take control of structures in Eve, I think would be amazing. The ability to, load your troops into a torpedo and fire it through a shield into the CSA, the Capital Ship Assembly Array, building a Titan. Now that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? The ability to delay the timers that build the thing, and to even actually disable guns and so on, and then all the way through to a built Titan that's actually in a big fleet battle. The ability to really just merge and destroy the ship from inside. I just think this is what people play for. They don't play to get a kill in a map like this where you don't know what you're fighting for or what even the purpose of your fighting for is. So I think bear that in mind. This is why a lot of players are here. I suspect it's maybe a lot of players aren't here and they probably don't even really understand what Eve is, but I think a lot of us are here for the Eve connection, and I think a lot of us will pretty much be willing to see what that brings, because that's kind of why we fight. And I just think the ability to kind of load and move and actually fight on the planet and also fight in the atmosphere as well is just going to be epic. And let's face it, that's why we're here. So this map's going well. I think we pretty much had them on the run. To be 60 clones ahead as well shows we're pretty much wiping them out. And you can see I'm just giving my my medi pen, as I call it, a bit of a go. Stab. And then he gets up. That's pretty cool. But I think really, this was a good match, a good fight. My court mate there, he's awesome. He is absolutely owning in this one, and he's an incredibly good player. So props to him. And it's a good match all round. I think we had a real blast with this one. And again, it's just unedited. It's just there for your amusement, your information, your general enjoyment. And please post in the comments if if you want to see more of this, or if you want to see edited videos. I have probably the one before this you'll have seen, hopefully, is a very quick spotlight on remote detonators or remote explosives. Hopefully you've seen that one. I can do certainly more like that, but I don't know, I'm pretty chill. If you want me to do videos of a particular type, I'm more than happy to do that. I think this is an interesting hobby for me. I particularly love Dust. I think it's really good fun. So just give us a comment and let us know what you would like to see more of, and that shall be done. I think one of the things I want to try and do as well is maybe just do a bit more of an obvious basic one, because a few people have asking me, like, how do I load a gun I've bought, and how do I get skill points and things like that. So I think I may do a basic video as well, because there's a number of certain things you should probably do. So for example, you should probably get a passive booster. That helps you basically, accrue ISK faster over time. The active booster gives you 25% more skill points at the end of a fight, so that's pretty good. Is it 25? It could be 15, I forget, but it's basically a boost. So every time that little the skill wheel goes round, you'll see then a final, few points being added. and that's to do with the booster. So even things like the universal translator, universal voice transmitter, something, those things are also just to explain what they are, because you can then just talk in various channels. You know, I'll maybe do a quick video of that, because I think there's still a few people who are kind of very new to the game, really wanting to know how things work. And you know, again, unless you join a corp, or unless you kind of ask, you know, have the ability to ask questions, it's just difficult to really get an understanding of what the heck is going on. So, you know, I'm more than happy to do those kind of videos as well. And also, I think some of the more detailed stuff, I mean, again, I know a lot of veterans, you know, also are watching these videos, and you know, I'd love to sort of, you know, if you have pearls of wisdom you want to share, please let us know, because I think, you know, I'm always interested talking to Joshua and Lord Porter and others, because they know the game so intimately, and they really are, you know, very good at it. And there's a lot of veterans out there as well who really, you know, my God, they know this game. So, you know, help out the noobs. Let's try and be, you know, get some interesting group think going, because it'd be always interesting to see what, you know, fits we use, what comments people have. I mean, I know there's a lot of good stuff on the forums at the moment about the skill cap. It seems to be a hot topic, as they say, but I think that's kind of good, because it's always good to have a dialogue going, just to figure out really what the community is thinking. And again, I think really just you know, it's this game is so cool. I think, you know, we should be really trying to back it as best we can, and, you know, get the most from it. So there we go. I think in terms of generally also some of the maps as well, I had a really funny you know, few kind of rounds before this one where, you know, we had some, you know, really strange map rotation where it was like we were being trolled a little bit, to be honest, because we had like this, you know, 2 maps in a row that were actually the same type. Now I may have been it may be in complete chance, but it just felt very odd. I don't even know if there is a map rotation, to be honest. There probably isn't. It's maybe just, you know, you join a map and you join a battle, and it's like whatever's going. You know, I don't really know how the mechanics of the servers work, because, you know, you could have had like 300 or 400 players on. It's always interesting to see who and how and why and where these maps kind of start. But yeah, it's just for the last few matches we had, I think it was I can't explain the map, but it was the same map but just at different locations, and it was just over and over again, and it just seemed a bit funny. And again, I think certainly some of the fun we've been having has been really just around the squad play as well. So I think, you know, we've had a few people join us, and you know, it's great to have people come on board. We're not elite, we're not best, we're not brilliant, we're pretty terrible in fact, but I'll tell you what, we do love the game, and I think that's really what it's all about. So there we go, victory. That's a rare victory, in fact. And I think that was a good match, and it was a good fun one. And again, we'll, you know, I think when you come to why the differences between victory and defeat, let's look at that. That'd be interesting. But as you can see, I've hit my skill cap there, so I've not really got any skill points, but that sucks. But there we go. But good amount of ISK, and there we go. My God, 36 to 7. That guy is an absolute animal. And then I got, what, 21 to 6. So pretty happy with that. It was a good match. Hope you enjoyed it. Some more to come very soon.